Alright, so I'm gonna try to do a little VR cover video here for anybody who's interested. So you'll get a nice package, VR cover, pretty nice little envelope here. Little signage about VR cover and VR lens lab in there. Inside you'll find two of these guys. And I've heard some complaints about them being scratchy or low thread count. I didn't find that a problem. It's pretty comfortable. It is actually more comfortable than the Rift's foam, I think. So I'm not going to complain there. But problem for me is that these guys will not actually hang on to the Rift faceplate in any real fashion. There's no elastic in here. It doesn't fit super tight, so it's really, really loose is my real complaint about it. So let's see how it's going to fit on there. I got the Rift here, upside down, just so you can see what I'm doing with it. So you've got these little pockets that are sewn into the cover. The little pockets are going to hold the cover in place is the idea. So you're gonna stretch them. Let's make sure you're doing this upside down. Okay, a little bit tricky. So you're gonna kind of hug the pocket to one corner of it. Kind of snug it on there. And, you know, it conforms pretty well to the shape of the Rift there. Not perfect, but pretty close, you know. Does fit well there. Same thing on the other side. Gonna fit that little pocket in there. Snug it down. And then there's, you know, a little pocket around the front side there. Get the Rift right side up. Oh, came off on this side though. Yeah, see, that's the thing. There needs to be some elastic there, or it's just not going to stay put. So snug it back down. There's the nose. There's the nose piece. Definitely nothing to hang that in place with. It just kind of flops around there. It does fit nicely up in the nose piece. I mean, there it is, properly in the nose piece. Well, you know, as properly as it's going to get since there's nothing to hold it there. So it's kind of floppy in there, and that's a real complaint for me, is that when I'm wearing this thing, this touches my nose and moves around on my nose. I got a big nose, and it does block the nose hole, or nose gap, whatever. If that's a problem for you, this will solve that problem. But I can feel it moving around on my nose while I'm in the Rift, so that's kind of distracting. And you can see it. Like, let's say I put the Rift on here. I can see the sides here underneath the lenses, even if I, you know, stretch them out a little bit, and even putting it on properly, you know, expanding out the band there so that I'm not rubbing it around when I put it on. It's still gonna rub that around, and I'm gonna see these edges in my peripheral vision unless I pull them down after putting it on. And even then, they'll creep back up in there because there's nothing holding them down. Same thing with the top part there. It does have a little lip around the top part. I can't show it without the whole thing coming off. I'll show it once I get it pressed down. So there is a tiny little lip. You know, the faceplate of the Rift does not have a big lip along the top. I understand that they got some design issues trying to grab that, because there's not a big lip there to be grabbed. But you could theoretically remove the faceplate and grab around the sides there. That would be a design improvement to consider, is some elastic right around the top here that would grab underneath the faceplate attachment, so it would just stay in place. Because the faceplate's easy to pull out, you know, that's no big deal. You could pull it out, but so that's properly applied, you know. That's what it looks like when you got it properly applied there. You can see some floppiness in the fabric, and it feels floppy when you put it on, for sure. Just feels like something that was, you know, it was designed. They had to have a rift in their hands to make a piece of fabric that would fit this thing. But it's just like, I don't know. It feels like something that I could have made myself on a sewing machine at home and had at least this much success with it. Definitely, as soon as somebody tears this thing apart, a pattern could be posted to the internet, because there's nothing special about this. It just is what it is. And if you are going to demo your Rift, this is maybe the very best solution out there at the moment. If I had somebody wearing a lot of makeup or really oily trying my Rift out, I would put this on still. But that's the only time I would use it. I would be worried about this causing people to have a less than good first experience when demoing, so I wouldn't even use it when demoing if I could avoid it. For 20 bucks, it's alright, but that's about all I can say.